Hey guys, John from the John Muir Show here, and it's becoming pretty commonplace in today's United States of America that a liberal outlet would come out and say something that's absolutely crazy, defying logic, defying reason. Also, they can oppose something that was done by President Trump or his administration. We've got another example for you here. The liberal outlet Vox has come out and said that it is absolutely appalled by President Trump and his administration, their decision to make some changes to the guidelines in the Transgender Offender Manual. That just doesn't really roll off the tongue too well, but Transgender Offender Manual, which these changes make it more difficult for a transgender prison inmate to be housed based on their gender identity instead of their actual gender, you know, what they are, what they have been from birth. And for those who are not familiar, gender identity is something that the left has been trying to shove down our throat in recent years, claiming that, oh, one day, yeah, you know, if you're a man and you wake up and you're like, you know, I want to be a woman today. According to many liberals in this country, that's totally fine, and everybody else is supposed to call you a woman, and if they don't call you a woman for that day or however long you decide to refer to yourself as a woman, then they're really bigoted and intolerant and blah, 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 you know, the typical liberal spiel. So anyways, this all centers on this. The decision from the Trump administration, it seems pretty justified. It came after 4 women who are at a Texas prison had filed suit under the Prison Rape Elimination Act, arguing that the Obama-era rules that allow people to be placed on their gender identity, that it's actually something that puts them at an increased risk for things like rape and assault. Seems like it makes pretty good sense, but not to Vox or their LGBTQ, whatever other letters they add at the end of it now, advocates and friends, because what they're concerned with is the well-being of these people who have the gender identity issues. And they want to make sure that these people who are defying, you know, common sense and just throwing it to the wind, that they're taken care of at the expense, more than likely, of the large part of the population that would be the prison inmates who are heterosexual. You see, the concern that Vox and their friends are laying out is that what if somebody who identifies as a woman is placed with men? Well, I can explain that one for you pretty easily. That man who is being placed in the facility with a bunch of other men is probably at no greater risk of being assaulted, whether it be physically or sexually, than any of the other men who are in the prison. They are all men. This is not actually a woman that you're inserting into a men's prison. It is a man who clearly has some issues in life and doesn't realize what kind of parts they have. But the real issue that should be concerned here, but you know what, Vox and the LGBTQ community that they cite in their piece, they don't really seem to care about this one, is what happens if a man decides, you know what, I'm going to be a woman today and I want to be housed with the women in prison, and then goes on to use his strength to prey on the women in that prison. They don't seem too concerned about that, which is, you know, surprising compared to the narrative that you hear all the time from the left, because they claim that, oh yeah, the left, we're the champions of women. We're the ones who are actually looking out for the females in this country. But in all reality, it's not surprising that once again it takes people like me on the right to actually have common sense and actually look out for the groups of people that the liberals in this country claim that they actually care about, but really don't give 2 rips about. That's all the time that I have for you today, but tune into the John Muir Show each and every weekday, WTAQ, WHBL, WSAU, at John Muir, WTAQ on Twitter and Facebook to get my thoughts throughout the day. Till next time, I'm out.